Good morning, Pastor Brian here. Thank you for joining me today as we read a psalm a day throughout the book of Psalms. Today we are reading Psalm 97 together. I'll be reading from the Common English Bible as I do each day. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope that you find these meaningful. I hope that the fact that they're short in nature help you get started on your day with the Bible, with some scripture, and let you on with your day so that it's not this big time-consuming part of your morning or whenever it is that you do this. But again, thank you for joining me, and let's dive into Psalm 97. The Lord rules. Let the earth rejoice. Let all the islands celebrate. Clouds and thick darkness surround God. His throne is built on righteousness and justice. Fire proceeds before him, burning up his enemies on every side. His lightning lights up the world. The earth sees it and trembles. The mountains melt like wax before the Lord the whole world. Heaven has proclaimed God's righteousness, and all nations have seen his glory. All those who worship images, those who are proud of idols, are put to shame. All gods bow down to the Lord. Zion has heard and celebrates. The towns of Judah rejoice because of your acts of justice, Lord. Because you, Lord, are the most high over all the earth. Because you are so superior to all other gods. Those of you who love the Lord hate evil. God guards the lives of faithful ones, delivering them from the power of the wicked. Light is planted like seed for the righteous person. Joy, too, for those whose heart is right. Rejoice in the Lord, righteous ones. Give thanks to his holy name. Well, that's the end of Psalm 97. What do you like? What did you hear? Was there something you didn't like about the psalm? Think about those things, meditate on them, write them down. What was the one word or phrase, verse that stuck out to you? And write about why. It's always good. It helps get it out, helps you process it more, and is just a wonderful way to really dig into the scriptures. One of the things that really stuck out to me was verse 2, and I don't know why, nothing too deep or profound or anything, but verse 2 says, clouds and thick darkness surround God. His throne is built on righteousness and justice. But the part that really stuck out to me was the clouds and thick darkness, and it just reminded me of all the ways in which we hear God described. And obviously there's many different ways, but this reminded me of God being the cloud by day as the Israelites were led through past their escape from Egypt and through the first part of the wilderness. And then it also reminded me of when Moses goes and visits God up on the mountaintop, in which he has that conversation with God for 30 days, I think it is. Maybe it's 40 days. You'll have to correct me because I don't have anything to reference, and this is just off the top of my head. And so God is depicted as this cloud that covers the whole mountaintop. And so just clouds and thick darkness around God, that is an image that we do see about God, and that's just where my mind was drawn and what my mind stuck to as I was reading this. And so even though there's some other great parts about this psalm, that's where mine kind of fixated on. And that's kind of what I'm talking about when I encourage you to think about what stuck out to you. If there's something you read and your mind just hits on that word or that phrase, then go with it. Just going beyond that just a little bit for a moment, but just, clouds and thick darkness, the idea of fire, the idea of lightning, and the idea of mountains melt like wax before the Lord. Just all of these different images of the world and worldly images as compared in different ways to God in this psalm. And just, I think part of that helps us remember, as some of the other Psalms have, remember how much God is a part of this world to this day, and how God was the one who created everything, and which I think is another reason why we see that everything else that people worship are just idols. That reminder later on in verse 7. And that we should focus on God, God who is a part of the mountains and the lightning and the fire and the clouds and everything. God is the one who created that all, and that God's throne is built on righteousness and justice. So those are the things that stuck out to me. What stuck out to you? Again, as I said earlier, write it down, share it with a friend, share it with us. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. God bless, and I hope you can join us tomorrow for Psalm 98.